It's Dominique Burns coming to you, bringing you super awesome, fantastic book reviews. Everything from fiction to romance and more. You will find the great books that you're looking for. Let Dom help you choose with their super cool book review.
Hello world of BookTube. Today I am reviewing Shatter Me. Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. Tahereh Mafi? T-Mafi? Tahereh Mafi. I think this is a really interesting book. So I've always been really torn on how I felt about it. I've loved it and then I haven't loved it. I have mixed emotions because I've really enjoyed the world. I've enjoyed the characters. I thought it was a cool concept, and so I've often kind of gone back and forth. I find the first book, there's 3 in the series. There is Ignite and Unravel. So Unravel and Ignite. And I felt like the first book was really slow and the main character, Juliette, just had no backbone. But I think that's kind of part of the whole point, is that this main character, Juliette, has been locked away for years. Her touch is like deadly. You do not want this girl to touch you. Think Rogue from X-Men, but instead of her getting really cool powers, all she's doing is zapping people of their life and they die. So that's kind of, you know, a downer. So, and Juliette's been locked away because the society does not know how to handle her. They just don't know what to do. She's scary to them and an unknown. So from a very young age, her parents sent her away and she was tested on and locked up. And now she's just been in this like crazy person jail cell. That's where the book starts off with, is just her alone in this cell. And eventually she does get another cellmate whose name is Adam, and he's gonna play a role in her breaking out of the cell. I can't like give too much away about that, so I'm just gonna end on that note. It's kind of in a dystopian world, so it's very futuristic in that sense of there's the reestablishment going on, which is like trying to make everything equal, is taking over the world, it's just crazy, dictatorship. That's what the reestablishment is. So Juliette's gonna get broken out of that jail, the crazy town, the jail cell. I won't really tell you too much about it, why, but I can tell you the reestablishment decides that they want her for those crazy touching abilities. There's going to be a love triangle. Triangle. So there's going to be Adam, who was locked away in the jail cell with her and plays a part in her escaping the jail. And then there's Warner, who is just all kinds of evil and bad. So you think, I don't know. There's 3 books and I've read them all, and yeah, Warner, bad boys. But Warner and Adam are gonna kind of create a love triangle. It's a little iffy in this first book. Warner is obviously obsessed with her, and her and Adam have a connection, which I can't tell you too much about it, but that's really it. So you're gonna enjoy this love triangle, and the love triangle is a huge part of the book, in the first book at least especially. In fact, when I read the first book, I thought it started off a little bit slow and I was so bored, but I just kept reading it, which is really unlike me. If I'm bored in a book, I don't keep reading. And I'm really glad I did, because the rest of the series turned out to be really awesome. So, I mean, it depends. If you're really into those like kind of long drawn out love triangles, but with really cool, you know, dystopian type worlds, you know, with governments taking control, kind of think like Divergent, you know, everybody, they start taking control, trying to even everything out, and Tahereh Mafi does a great job at creating this world. So I really recommend it. I recommend reading the first book. This isn't necessarily one of my favorite series, but I did really enjoy it. I'm not so into really long, drawn-out romances or love triangles, so that was kind of hard for me to deal with. At the back of the book says, "I have a gift. I am more than human. My touch is power. I will fight back." And I've read this book series twice now, actually, which, you know, for not being one of my favorite series, I think shows that I really do like it, and I love the concept and this idea of the reestablishment and her having this deadly touch and trying to find her confidence and figure out who she is. And I really, really liked it, so I'll have to say that. Yeah, and I actually think the third book is the best one. It gets way better as the books go on. The first book, again, starts out a little slow, but then it picks up pace. So I recommend it. I'm not gonna give this one a rating. On Goodreads, I have changed my rating on this so many times. I've given it 3 stars, I've given it 4 stars, and I'm not really sure what I would give it out of 5, to be honest, anymore. I just know that I love the idea, I love the concept. I'm not so much into the romance part as much, but I do really like the whole world that the author builds. So go check it out, read it if you are into those kind of books. You know, it's kind of got that, you know, X-Men meets Divergent world going on. So that's a neat concept in many ways, because you got people with powers and people without powers, and the government is just like not minding their own business. They're like, I take control of everything, and we're gonna use you, Juliette. Juliette also is a really weak character in this first book. That's gonna be a struggle. I found it so annoying, because see, you can see here on the back they put scratches through like what she's saying. So it says, I have a curse, I have a gift. So there's a lot of that going on where she like, my touch is lethal, my touch is power. That's what it says here. Where they'll like, the author draws a line through other thoughts that Juliette is having and doesn't say. So she might be saying, I have a curse, but then out loud she says, I have a gift. Does that kind of make sense? So there's a lot of that going on, and it's kind of confusing at first, because you're like, wait, why does she keep having these like sentences with lines drawn through them? And that's because Juliette, it's her thoughts, and she's not saying them out loud. Actually, did you know that this just got picked up for adaptation? That means that it's either going to be a TV show or a movie, which is really cool. I want to say I heard it was a TV show. I'll have to look it up. I can't quite remember, but I'm really excited because I enjoyed this series, and I think that it has a lot of potential. It kind of makes me think of, so it's nothing like the book The Duff, let me just say that. But if you ever read the book The Duff had really good bones, I would say. Good, like a good setting or good story plot line for a movie. And so they took it and they made it into a movie, and then they filled out all the places that it was really missing. And that's how I feel about this series, that it's got the structure for a really good series, like a TV show or a movie, and it's built a really good world and has an awesome concept that's really unique and special to its own. And I loved it. It's really, it sucks you in, but it just has some things that kind of drag on, or you feel are like, and it kind of just, you're just like, is this necessary? I'm so bored, but I really want to keep reading because it's a cool idea. And that's what this book is. It's got a great structure. It just is missing some stuff. And for me, the stuff it was missing was more action scenes. Later books, the author really does a good job of building more action scenes and more world building. And that's gonna be pretty much the entire first book, is Juliette being in this awful situation where the reestablishment is trying to train her and turn her into a weapon. You've got crazy powers, girl. I want to use you as a weapon. You're gonna touch people and they're gonna die, and the reestablishment's gonna continue taking over. World of BookTube. Make sure you go check it out. Go read a book today and enjoy the rest of your summer. This is Dominique, and thanks for listening. Bye, guys.